to the back room. So you trying to get us to do an impromptu barrel picking?
Yeah, might as well.
We got a whole wall of whiskey. This is the best price I've seen on a 10-year in a hot minute. So I've been living in Cincinnati for just about 3 years. At the end of the month of March will be the 3-year anniversary of when I moved here. And as I was talking with my buddy Jason, realized I have yet to do a bourbon hunt in the state of Indiana. It is literally like 20 minutes away, right over the river from where I live. And I haven't done anything there yet. So we talked, said, hey, let's go to Indianapolis, check another state off the list, and see if we can find any rare bottles. Supposedly is a drop day today for a couple of these liquor stores, so fingers crossed we find something good, something new, something rare. Goal for me today would be any one of those Jacks that are just releasing, the Jack 10, the Jack 12, preferably the Jack 14. If not, something from Penelope that just dropped would be a nice consolation prize. Havana, maybe a Rio, then 17-year light whiskey. Gonna have some fun today. Gonna meet up with a couple of Patreon members too who are locals who are gonna help take us around to a couple of the local liquor stores. So let's see what we can get into today. Drive wasn't too bad. First stop of the day, we are at Red Barrel Liquors in Mooresville, Indiana, just about 20 minutes southwest of downtown Indianapolis. This was a stop that one of my Patreon members, Michael, told me I needed to put on the list. So we're gonna stop here first. Already talked with the store owner. He said that they may have something special today. Fingers crossed. It's one of those new JD releases, but it's supposed to be drop day. Let's see what we got inside today. All right. Well, here we are. Cool little spot. Kind of reminds me of like a train depot or something. Here we are. You're Alex?
Yep, Brandon.
Nice to meet you, Alex. Cool store.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming down. It's been a wild journey on the bourbon game. We went from just like 2 store picks to I think we have 20 or some plus in store right now.
So that's all around the gas pump?
Yes.
What's the story about the gas pump? Just cool looking?
Grandpa's had it forever. Grandpa's had it forever. So this is a 3rd generation owned business. My grandpa, and my grandma and grandpa, which are 84 years old, are still here every day. And then you have my mom, Julie.
Hi, Mom.
She's been here for 28 years. 28 years. And then I'll be 31 at the end of the month, and I've been full-time for like 6 or 7 years now, but I've worked here my whole entire life. So it's been a fun journey, and they definitely never thought that the bourbon thing would go this crazy.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for Ray at Rule Inn and us going to a Saturday tasting, this would have never happened because my grandma would not have allowed it to happen. So we owe the Rule Inn a lot of thanks for all this.
I think we're going to stop there a little later. What's your favorite store pick you guys have?
So kind of biased. We did this Maker's Mark pick on my mom's birthday.
Ooh.
So it's mom's birthday barrel. It's pretty much her stave profile. We started off on a weak one and got it up pretty good. Chocolate caramel vanilla, if you had the Keeper's Heart release.
Yeah.
It's pretty much that, but at cash strength.
Oh, nice.
So that one's really good. Drew's got an amazing secret juice bottle here. If you know the mash bill, you'll guess what it is.
75, 13, 12 at 101. I have a feeling. It gobbles. That'd be the guess.
That one's new. Those are actually our last 3 picks would be the Makers, the Circle City, and the Rabbit Hole. I always have to, just because I love Jason at Old 55, and hopefully we'll get his bottle and bond and cash strength juice before long. But all my Old 55 stuff is outstanding, and he does really good with it being locally owned, family owned, and everything of that nature.
Oh, so Newtown, Indiana. Okay,
Yep.
So that's around here.
So that's pretty good. Our Knob Creek picks always do well. Yeah. And this New Riff pick is one of my solid favorites. And then Hard Truth did a new one this year.
Oh
with
with
the High Road Rye bottle and bond. That one's very tasty.
You gotta love
Got some
Hard
fruit
Truth,
notes
too.
on it. Pick up like a little strawberry kind of chocolate or so.
The regular one's bottled at like 92, I think. So, and this is a bottle and bond.
93 proof, yes. That, I believe, was their first bottle and bond pick that they've done of that.
I think we actually saw it in the tank.
Oh, okay.
Because we were in November.
Okay.
But
we actually, that's about the time we
because
down and
I looked
picked
up
ours.
and I saw the code. I was like, wait, that's a bottle and bond. You guys don't have a bottle and bond that's a rye right now. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yep. The pick.
They're coming out with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you get the hard true selection. Great stuff.
Then we got this double oak rye from Starlight. It's delicious too. 6 years, 116.7 proof. The double oak masks the rye portion of it.
How many barrel picks do you guys normally do in a year?
It varies. 2 years ago, we jumped out of the gate very, very strong, and kind of backed up a little bit because we focused on more craft distillery size. So we did Nulu, West Fork, Starlight was last year. Kind of we're small, but now we're getting more into name brand barrels, which is great. So it was a whole process. So like, nobody knows other than these two guys that were just in here, but I got a call yesterday, and something I strived for 5 years is I got a call that we actually got a Blanton's barrel pick coming.
Oh,
so
nice.
that's going to be
Congrats.
one of our. It's good juice, but it's not my favorite juice for everybody. It's kind of one of those bottles that everybody wants to get all the ponies and stuff. But to get a single barrel of it's pretty cool. That's something that's taken a lot of time and effort to get to.
Oh, for sure, especially with how big of the boom, and that's what I'm assuming. That's like the one bottle that everybody come in and ask you more for.
I think with our crowd now, outside of guys that are just getting into it, you're seeing a change with bourbon that they are focusing more on the single barrels. You're seeing pricing on all the Sazerac stuff skyrocket. And I can't tell you if they're chasing secondary pricing or trying to cut that down, but they didn't raise pricing for a very long time. Yeah. So I can tell you that a bottle of Elmer T, it was like $29.90 2.5 years ago. It went to $39.90, and this year it jumped up to $62.40. Yep. So that takes a $40 bottle and makes it $90, just like that. And we have no justification on it because we keep everything at retail. So people look at me like, "Oh, you're starting to raise price?" Like I'm like, "No, it's not us. It's the distributors."
So everything's retail.
Yes, everything is retail. We stay very competitive on that nature. My favorite thing to say is, like at our end of the year raffle, our Pappy 20 last year was $349. So I can start there. You can pretty much assume the rest of it's going to be at retail.
How do you guys do your allocations then?
So what I do to keep it fair for everybody, because we do kind of like a revolving door kind of clientele where everybody's welcome. Nobody, whether it's your first time or 100th time, I'm not holding anything back from you. So like for instance, I've just met you guys today. Our truck came in. All I have to offer today is Larceny A batch and Elijah Craig A batch for this year. But then say if, which I got 2 cases of each of that, so I'll part with probably 8 to 9 bottles of each, and then store back the rest for whenever I do a raffle or anything of that nature. So say a case of Eagle Rare comes in 6 bottles, I just, whoever happens to walk through the door. So like for you guys, I'd actually grab 4 bottles if I had 4 different bottles and walk out and just be like, all right, pick a hand. And then that's what you get. And you could strike out and it could be just a Blanton's, and then the next guy gets whatever. I do have, and I forgot, the Heaven Hill Grain to Glass from last year. That came in last week, which is, I think 2 bourbons and 2 ryes I can come off as well. Cool. And that's pretty much the exact system of what I do. Every once in a while I'll come in on a Saturday morning and post a fire drill and just put whatever bottles I have out, and it's just kind of first come, because we want to take care of our local customers first because they are our bread and butter.
Talk about the cars.
Those are all Grandpa's. So he's got those in his office. He's got all die-cast tractors. He's just got all kinds of stuff.
A lot of history here.
He's got
old Camel.
They don't make those anymore.
No.
Some cool ones like that old Granddad 114 up there is like an original. It still has the tax seal over top of it, so it's never been cracked.
That's awesome. Cubs.
Yeah, that's the old 55 barrel strength sweet corn, and that
Grandpa
was delicious.
Cubs fan, or?
No, that's actually my bottle.
Are you a Cubs fan?
Yes. Oh shit, that's awesome. That's awesome. The bookers on the left, and Mom can quote me on this, it's probably what, 25 years? I mean, it's 20 years at least.
It's got Fred's signature on it.
There was no date on it because I couldn't find it either.
It came with the store.
That Jack Daniel's single barrel was actually our first store pick in 2003.
Oh, wow.
And we never did a single one until Old 55, which would have been 4 years ago now.
Oh,
4
wow.
or 5
So
years ago.
From 03 to,
yeah,
well, 20 years almost.
Yeah, that's how much we were out of the bourbon lifestyle.
Yeah. Oh, that's really neat. And then the old school Camel again.
And we do a pretty cool thing, and I will do a shout out. Will you grab me those old 55, or I'll grab. So these mean a lot to us.
Yeah.
So with West Fork, I have a buddy named Andy Kays and his wife Paige. They have a son who is turning 5 in July. He has INAD, and I can't describe it completely good, but it's a 1 out of 200 children, maybe a year, that get it. So it's a very rare disease. So what we've done is we do a bourbon bash, which I believe is in the 1st of June or July. But this is our first 2 barrels that we've done. They take it, and what they've done is started a research for this disease, because nobody's ever done it before. So
yeah.
I think they're on year like 1.5 or 2 of them doing it, but we actually we just picked out our last bottle. If you see us on our Facebook page, you'll see that whole process of Andy and all of us doing it. But we'll be on year 3, and on the back of it, which you can see, there's their family. It's a story of what he has, and then this is year 2,
okay.
And then we'll just keep going.
Is it Warner? Is that what I saw
yes,
on the label?
Yes, Warriors for Warner. So he's a good little dude. He's a fighter. He's a badass man, just trying to make it. So I did want to give them a shout out.
Good for you guys. Yeah.
It's just fun, because it's amazing how our bourbon customers, as outside of our families and friends that deal with K's, that have bought bottles and cherished them and kept them up on their bar, they'll get 2, drink 1, and save 1.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat.
For the good cause too.
Yes.
Sweet. As for the shelf, Buzzard's Roost, the Buckner's 10-year, again, like you mentioned, right at MSRP. Those are great buys.
We have sample bottles on all of our store picks, so if you guys want to try anything, you're more than welcome.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to the Circle City.
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful and the Damned. I love these labels. Those are MGP. My guy Kevin out in Chicago runs that company. Silver Oak. It's a really good selection. So Nom Creek 12-year, good price at $62.99. It's right at MSRP, like you heard him. Everything's SRP. All the 2XO. It's a Whistle Pig 10-year. You get camp stock, and I think that this is the heads and tails, snout and tails. Yeah. Right there on the shelf, the $300 15-year. The whole 15 stars lineup, most of the Penelope, Calumet, a benchmark, $17.49. I mean, it's hard to pass up. If you're just getting into it, that's a great starter. Turkey single barrel, MB Roland, just got a package from them of their Dark Fire. And then the bottom shelf, I know some of you guys like to see those prices. Dant at $14.69. It's a little more of a hodgepodge on the bottom shelf here. Crazy what the price difference is. In Kentucky, this is still at $45. Malted rye from New Riff. And then behind me, a little bit of everything. You got the Magnus, 3 Floyds, Chattanooga, Fang Pursuit 17-year Orphan Barrel, Blue Run High. I've never heard of Traveler's Point. Local Kirkland, Indiana. Middle West, the Bourbon Cream. Ooh. Those are even hard to find in Ohio. Nice. How'd I miss this? Old Granddad, is that $190.99? I think that's It's supposed to be 200, isn't it?
So that's a little.
Knob Creek 18 at 200. I mean, hell of a selection right at MSRP. Which new look was this? The Maple Brulee? Oh, Amburana. Getting a little overdone with the Amburana. Buffalo Trace. More Nulu. This the Spirits of French Lick. 110 proof, 4 years, Indiana straight bourbon whiskey. I don't know, that hard truth is speaking to me.
Yeah. So that's the one we saw, right?
Yeah. I mean, bottle and bond, and the regular the regular high road rye is like 90 proof. We think that might be one of the purchases today. Yep. Pouring up samples over here.
Which I didn't want to pick because everybody's gonna like it. The taste, I mean,
Can never turn down Buckner's 15.
The finish on that is amazing.
On the Circle City or the Buffalo Trace?
He said this was a barrel. This is his pick. They when he was there, they told him that if he hadn't picked that barrel, they were sending it to the stag line.
Oh.
So it's like diet stag right? The finish is crazy good. It's still
Even the nose is good.
yeah.
You got any bottles left?
He said this is the only one he doesn't have bottles available. So he's like,
So you got GG, 1E, and P on the Rick House for 445. So all relatively about the same. Should stay the same. I don't know what the locations of the Rick House are or wherever they're at.
So you trying to get us to do an impromptu barrel pick here?
Yeah, might as well. It's Friday.
I'm in. Let's go.
It's Friday.
Let's go. Went bourbon hunting and did a barrel pick. Well, you heard it. You got to come check out Red Barrel Liquors in Mooresville. We're doing an impromptu barrel pick. I've never done, that's a first for me. Go bourbon hunting and end up picking a barrel for a liquor store. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Come check these guys out here in Mooresville. We've got 2 Patreon members as well, Michael and Chris. You can check that out, and if you want to join, become part of the Storm Chaser crew, I've got the link in the description below. I'll toss it in the comments as well. But we're about to go do this barrel pick. We'll be right back. Well, here's what we're picking. 63.2, 62.9, 61.9. That one looks a whole lot lighter than these two. But let's see which one we pick. And the winner is just over 10 years old, 125.9 proof. That was the middle proof, but boy, the buttery mouthfeel on this with a lot of butterscotch. Barrel number 1 is our winner. Oh, just a celebratory barrel pick. Oh, we're just gonna pour some 16-year-old King of Kentucky. That's insane. So Red Barrel Liquors was an incredible success. Not only did we get some cool bottles, but we did an Elijah Craig barrel pick, a 10-year-old at 125.8 proof, something like that. Incredibly creamy, delicious, a lot of butterscotch notes. And they're gonna throw my logo on the bottle, so that's pretty cool. Also walked away with Elijah Craig A125 and that Hard Road, the Hard Truth High Road Rye Bottle and Bond barrel pick. I think it come out to about $138.90 or something like that. So successful on stop number 1. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat stop number 1 with how that all went down, but let's go check out the next place. I think we're heading out to SoBro Spirits or something like that. We'll go see what they've got for us. So our next stop, we are at SoBro Spirits, which is just on the northeast side of Indianapolis. Have gotten a lot of recommendations from Patreon members that this is a spot to go for the best barrel picks in town. We're gonna meet with a couple people in here. Again, looking for those Jack Daniel's bottles. Highly doubt we're gonna find those, but we could get lucky. Let's go see what they've got as a selection. Well, here we go. Looks like Scotch, bourbon, whiskey down here. There's a lot going on in here. Gentleman's cut right up front, that Steph Curry swill. But
What's going on?
how's it going? I'm Brandon.
Brandon, nice to meet you. I'm Jake.
Jake, nice to meet you. Whoops,
Sorry.
my bad. What you got here?
So we've got lots of barrel picks here if you're interested in whiskey.
Yes.
And then we've got our monthly raffle over here. So everything on these two shelves will be sold at the end of the month.
Monthly raffle, you said?
Yeah, raffle. So anytime you're in the store, make a purchase, get a ticket, goes into the bucket there for the raffle. And that's the fairest way that we've designed to kind of get this whiskey to the people that are shopping with us.
Yeah.
And spending their money here.
So that's all the bottles right there on the top two shelves?
Correct. Yeah, everything on these two shelves there. We'll sell that as on the first and reset and go again. As you can see, I've still got some bottles over here from last month.
Okay. Yeah.
So we give people a pretty generous amount of time to come pick those up. Not everybody can make it over here the day of or whatever.
And so every purchase you just get one raffle ticket then?
Every purchase gets you a raffle ticket, whether it's beer, wine, liquor, and then any of our barrel picks you purchase gets you an additional ticket per bottle.
Oh, cool.
So we try to incentivize that a little bit.
Yeah, how many barrel picks do you guys have?
How many?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much everything from here to the wall. So we keep anywhere
outside of the stuff in the middle, but yeah.
Yeah. We keep anywhere from 15 to 25 barrel picks at a time.
Oh, wow.
Just in the past few years, we've built that up quite a bit.
How many do you normally do in a year?
Every year, I'd say we probably pick around 10 barrels. So as things come and go, we run out of pick. We'll go pick another one. As you can see, the makers, we're getting pretty close to being done
looks
with
like
that.
that's the...
So we may do that again this year. That one's it's a couple years old now, but we'll probably go do that again if we can.
What's the newest one you have?
The newest one we have, this just came in this week. This is a Hugh Hamer cherry brandy finish. We really, really like their cherry brandy finishes. We've done at least 2 other picks with them on the cherry brandy in specific.
Oh, cool.
And then the old Hamer here, this is one of our newer ones. This just came in a couple weeks ago. And that one is fabulous for the price.
123.96 proof for $53.99. Is that what that is?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, awesome.
Is there anything you want to try? Anything that stands out?
Oh, for sure. I'll try both the Hamers if that's all right.
Yeah.
Is that your guys' new bottle that you just got?
Yes. Yeah, this just came in.
That was like a phenomenal.
It's so good, dude. So it says on the back of the bottle, aged at least 4 years. All I'm allowed to say is it is older than that.
That's what I was saying.
So this is just the regular.
Yep, 99% corn, 1% malted barley.
99.1.
Yeah.
What do you think?
God, that nose.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very spicy.
It's a spice, but like I get orange peel for some reason.
Yeah. Get that zest, but more about trying.
Oh yeah, several times.
Stop working for a minute and come try some. Thanks. Wow.
Yeah, I get like, to me, it's like candy.
Very sweet.
Yeah, very sweet. Some good legs too. He said it is 4 years old, but you can't say anything more.
It's definitely at least 4 years.
I just got to try one of your guys' barrel picks. It was like 136 proof.
Oh yeah, was that the?
It was really good.
I think I have a picture.
We might be
of it,
leaving with this one.
That was one of the best lodge picks I've ever had.
Yeah.
Like,
Was.
Ooh, fresh pop of the cherry brandy.
Oh yeah.
How much is this one?
That's a good question. I think it's around 70. It's gonna be 75 even after tax.
75 even after tax.
Yeah.
Thank you. And this is the cherry brandy finish, you said?
And they'll give you. First time I was here, I was picking up a bottle for a guy that won a.
Ooh, that nose is delightful.
I don't know if it was a lottery or maybe it was a.
The brandy comes through.
Parker's or
No, it'll be. Valencia. Valencia. That's
Oh yeah. With like the orange wine finish. Yeah.
orange citrus one. Yeah.
It's softer than the other one, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a little
Proof-wise,
lower.
it's a
proof.
little higher, though, isn't
124 actually. Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, the finishing really rounds off those
Yeah.
edges.
that's very good.
they have like an email list.
Right.
First time you hear something about the door, every time I come in here, it's kind of a rotation.
So you come here a lot?
Not a lot, but I've been here several times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, several times. I live on the northeast side.
Okay, yeah, well, so this is the local place for you then, kind of. This is Chris. He's a Patreon member. So hi, Chris. He's the one who recommended that we come over here. So a big shout out to Chris. A really cool store. We're gonna have to go check out the shelves.
You to the back room because you definitely have to see that.
To the back room. Mm-hmm. Can't film there though, right?
You can film most of it.
Oh, most of it.
Yeah. I will ask you at some point to.
Just tell us when to stop.
Yeah. All right, here we are. We're in the whiskey aisle. They got a whole wall of whiskey. Frey Ranch, Hard Truth. Pricing is very fair as well. Isaac, the small batch and the port barrel, $35, $42. Another place with the Knob Creek 12, right at $63. I'm loving the pricing here in Indy, that's for sure. Double Oak, Peerless, got in trouble for not pointing it out before. Oh, they've got a cash and a credit price. Okay, that makes sense. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye, $69.99. Redemption Rye, Burial Barton, and then you got your old Smoky on the bottom. Evan Williams, we just did the live stream. This finished second best bottle and bond in the live stream. You can check out the top right to see who finished first. The new Bullet bottle and bond. Just did a review on that as well. Augusta, damn, that's an even better price. 109.9. Soft red wheat Rickhouse proof, and then Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company, which is now Larrikin. Fiddler, love to see that represented here in Indy. Basil Hayden, JTS Brown, Russell Single Barrel, $68.99. That's a good pick as well. Jake's pick, find a 10-year-old. So, yeah, good call, Jake. Regular Ancient Age, JTS Brown, Bottled and Bond. That's $14.99. That's a go-to for me for $15 if you're looking for a budget bourbon. Some of the barrel, so this is what batch? So on the bottom right corner, it's hard to see if you don't know this already, but it's not gonna, there we go. This is batch number 4. On the bottom right of each one of these barrels, so that's batch 11, the Dovetail, looks like batch 6, and then you got the Barrel Foundation Bourbon, some of the Penelopes, the SoBro, that's not the pick, that's just a regular Architect. And then more Frey Ranch and Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company. Origin Series, doesn't have the high wheat. I think I saw that up front actually. And then Green River. Oh, the Four Roses Single Barrel. This is the different meshes. So you got the OBSF and the OESK. Looks like they sold out the OESO. That's a good price too.
I will. If I do well, I'll text you. Let me know. If you don't hear from me, that means I probably didn't do it. You're smoking a cigarette. Yeah, probably.
15 stars, more Circle City. We are in the Circle City, so that makes a lot of sense. Backbone, that's from around here as well too. So here's those hammers, more Hard Truth. And then New Riff, more Circle City, and then Limit 1 on the Buffalo Trace still, so I guess that's still allocated. SB House. Pretty good selection. I mean, the pricing here is great for a lot of these bottles. So, I'd definitely be interested in the single barrels. These seemingly are flying off the shelves in northern Kentucky right now. Anybody who gets them, they're gone right away. So for $51, $54 for credit card, that's not bad. But up front is where I think I saw a few more of these bottles. Everything behind, again, as Jake mentioned, they do that allocated raffle. Thought I saw, yep, there it is. It's a good price on that too. And Screaming Titan. And JT Mattingly's getting a lot of play lately too. So, you said there's a back room.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Oh, sure.
It's that one.
Oh, the blue one?
Light whiskey.
You guys can follow me. Just gonna snake around this way.
Oh.
Yeah, right. obviously this is a multi-use area.
Ooh.
We've got lots of storage. We've got the wine club, all of the pre-purchased wine from emails, that sort of thing. And then obviously the pièce de résistance.
The purple tops.
Oh yeah.
Jack Daniels. This is sick. This is pretty sweet.
So the guy who built this, his name is Eric Rolls, and he works with Beam Suntory. They do a lot of different stuff for various events. And he used actual barrels that we had from barrel picks to put the bar together.
Oh, down here, yeah. So it's like the local speakeasy in a way?
Well, we don't have a license to sell by the pour.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can sample, but yeah, a lot of people ask if they can use this space, and we're like, well, our license technically doesn't allow us.
Would you do like Bourbon Club gatherings here or something like that?
Yeah,
Or?
yeah, something like that. We do have people who bring stuff in every now and then, and we'll sit back here and
Locals just sit and
check it
drink.
out. Yeah.
Cool. But none of this is for sale.
Correct. So the idea behind this is A, storage, and B, to kind of put this on display, really make it clear that we mean business. The way my boss would put it, the owner Lou, he would say that this bourbon is yours, right? It's back here because it's going to be sold eventually to the customers that come in the store.
Yeah.
Yep, all of these are barrels that we've selected over the years. Those are for sale if you're interested in buying a barrel. $80.
$80 a barrel?
Yeah.
Does it come with the signatures too then? No. Just kidding.
All right.
Wow, there's really cool.
The piece I want to show you that I can't let you record.
Well, that was a cool experience. SoBro.
So you get a little bit lean towards the cigar smoker.
We're gonna try a couple more pours and then be on our way, but I'd go with the Elijah Craig too.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to try that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. The light whiskey, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just
Does
use the
everyone have a
glass we
glass?
got.
I don't know how clean those are. They're
All right.
fresh out of the box. So maybe give it a rinse.
We'll go with that
before.
one.
Such a good guy.
So 8 years old. This actually did cross the 9-year mark before we received it. So, but obviously they had already printed the
labels.
at that point.
Yeah, I love to hear that thing.
This
Did
might
they
be
put 'em
it.
away?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all just being wasteful.
Mm. Hard to beat Elijah Craig.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go with the Old Hammer single barrel, 123.96 proof. Cool look and label.
Yeah, so I actually picked that specifically from the James Webb Space Telescope. That is a picture of the Pillars of Creation.
No shit.
Yeah, that's. I'm a space nerd, so we actually did one last year that was the first ever released photo from the James Webb Space Telescope, and it's got like this light warp on it. So I threw that one on one of our previous releases. It's all black pretty much, but it's got those pops of galaxies far away.
The top is like a Christmas scene. Is this like a winter pick or?
No, not necessarily. I just really liked that picture and decided that I wanted to throw it on the label.
Well, that was.
Thanks, NASA.
So walked away with that Old Hammer single barrel pick, a 4-year-old whiskey, very good, very delicious, and it was like $55. So a trip total, I think we're up to about $200 on this trip so far. Haven't found anything extremely rare, but we've found some really good whiskeys, and we're hoping to find something rare here on the next stop, which is actually just up the street. If you haven't done so far, hit that subscribe button below, as we are nearly to 10,000 subscribers. Goal of 15,000 later on this year. We're trying to take this channel to the stratosphere. Weather pun for you. We'll see you at the next store. So our next stop is literally right down the street here on northeast side of Indianapolis. We are at Kahn's Fine Wines and Spirits Superstore. They got a cool sign right here on the side of the road. They've got the still right here, as well as a few of the barrels sitting outside. I don't know if those are barrel picks or what, but we're gonna hop in, hopefully find something unique and rare that we can't find in northern Kentucky or southwest Ohio, or maybe some of those allocated bottles. Highly doubt it, but you never know. Fingers crossed. All right, well, here goes nothing. Top Shelf Retailer Awards of 2021. I don't know who votes on that, but we're going to find out. Cincinnati beer. Stemwell Liquor Barware. Oh, wow. That's a pretty big store. All right. Bourbon, aisle 4. So Whistle Pig, we've seen that a couple times so far today. Snout to Tail, 10-year, $79.99. Sagamore, 9-year. This is $89.99. And then we got the Angel's Envy Triple Oak. Wasn't a huge fan. $69. Oh, here we go, to the right. So Redbreast, 21-year-old. This is the Tawny Port. I mean, we are getting close to St. Patty's Day, so I mean, if you can find the 12-year cask strength, that's a heck of a pour. So Snout and Tail, so that's right there on the floor, but also here. That's a little odd, but moving on. Whistle Pig, 12-year. A lot of Whistle Pig here in Indianapolis. Rebel 10, Magnus Cigar Blend. Ooh, $235. That price definitely went up. That's probably actually one of the better prices I've seen on the collab for the Bardstown and the Goose Island. Kentucky Owl Confiscated. $349 for the batch 12. That's really dropped since the folks over there filed for bankruptcy. Widow Jane Decadence is gone. Other Widow Jane stuff here. Old 55. Sweet Corn Bottle and Bond, $189.99. Rare Perfection. Chicken Cock. Barrel Vantage. Red Spot, Blue Spot, and Yellow Spot. So again, more Irish whiskey here as we're getting to the Irish time here in March. And then some Scotch. I don't know a whole lot about Scotch, but there we go. For the Scotch lovers, I don't know a whole lot, but I know that Hardcore's decent. Aberfeldy 21 is one of my friend's favorites. So, ooh, 30-year Balvenie. Macallan 25. Yeah, that's about right. All right, Bourbon Aisle. This is Rye's, I guess, and Bourbon's on the right. So we'll go Rye first. I've never heard of this. Amador. It's a different looking label. Born in Kentucky, raised in California. 92 proof. 74% rye, 11% corn, 15% barley. Sextro Rye, purple label. Tried some Sextro at the Revival spot in northern Kentucky. That's a lot of money. $215. Is this the cask strength or is this just the regular pumpernickel? Regular pumpernickel's $96. Fort Hamilton, Koval. Nothing that really jumps out yet. Chattanooga stuff's good. Ezra Brooks. High West. The Pinhook Vertical. $44 for that rye. Fiddler. If I had to go out of all these, I'd say the Toasted. $74.99, not bad. Frey Ranch Uncut. I've heard good things. Have not had the Uncut. Had a couple of barrel picks though. They're a little funky. Yellowstone. Buggy Whip Wheat from Journeyman. I've been very impressed with everything I've had from Journeyman. It's out of Michigan. They do have a distillery in northwest Indiana as well, out in Valpo, which is where the guy from SLB, the guys over there from SLB are at. It's a 90 proof wheat. So I wonder if that's just like their Corset Whips and Whiskey, but that is a barrel proof, and this is the 90 proof. Barrel Foundation. This is not the one that we just did a review on, but you can check out the review of the double barrel on the top right of your screen, which I just released a few weeks ago. Some of this stuff. Saz Rye, $39.99. It's a cool looking store. Weeded from Old Elk. RD1. I like their Amburana. This is their French oak. I've not had that. $67.99. Wyoming. We got this at the Colorado hunt a couple months ago. I've not seen it around me, so cool to see it here in Indiana. Garrison Brother Honeydew. The only thing I don't like about this is the fact that it's 80 proof. If you're going to put the honey in it, might as well make it cask strength so at least get a lot more flavor out of it. Origin Series. All three of the normal bourbons. Good prices there. Russell Single Barrel, $69. That's the best price I've seen on a 10-year in a hot minute outside of Costco. $35. Laser Code LLMF. Rare breed. So this must be the bourbon. 72% corn, 13% rye, 15% barley. Four Roses regular single barrel. Holiday soft red wheat makers. What the hell is this? Tommy Rotter, Napa Valley Heritance Cask, 95 proof. Buffalo, New York, distilled in Indiana. My guess, MGP. Templeton, Knob Creek 12 again. There's a ton of Knob Creek 12 in Indy. Can't find that anywhere in northern Kentucky or in southwest Ohio, but and at $65, that's not bad. They got the Larceny Barrel Proof B batch from last year, 524. Woodinville, haven't had much Woodinville. Then you got the Jim, the Jack, another of the port. Small batch. Bowman Brothers. That's about it. Oh, here we go. Right in the middle. So there's that 10-year. This is their sale. They're running $34.99 on the weeded Penelope. We did that review as well. If you want to check that out on the top right of your screen or at the end of this video. Solid. And at $34.99, that's a really good price on it. Looks like they got a lot of wine. They also have a lot of Irish whiskey. Wathen single barrel. Evan Williams bottle and bond. $21.99. Oh, I didn't even see this right here. So we've got their private barrel, $89.99. We just picked one. Gentleman's cut from Steph Curry. It's pretty awful. I would pass personally. Save your money. But if you've enjoyed this so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. We're getting closer and closer to 10,000 subscribers, hoping to hit that here by the end of the month of April, if not sooner. So a big thank you to each and every one of you. Looks like they've got some cool stuff here behind the desk. The Whistle Pig, Big Pig. We got a lot of Whistle Pig here. So we have Monbeer here. What is your position here?
I'm the general manager here.
General manager, cool. Family run and
Yeah,
operate?
my parents own it.
Oh, cool.
So, you know,
how long you guys had it?
we've had Kahn's for 6 years, going on 7 in October. But Kahn's has been around in Indianapolis since 1979.
Oh, wow.
It's been a staple and an institution when it comes to alcoholic beverages.
Awesome. How do you guys handle allocated stuff?
So I categorize allocated in 2 different categories.
Yeah.
Really hard to get and hard to get.
Yeah.
So the hard to get stuff, something like Elijah Craig or Larceny, barrel proofs, Henry McKenna, easier to get stuff, we just put it straight out. As soon as we get it, it's out. The things that are a little bit more rare, Old Fitz, Heaven Hill, like the 20 years and stuff, things of that nature, we do an end of the year lottery for.
Oh, cool. So lottery, like, so how much you pay here and then?
No, we usually do it based on store picks, so you don't have to have loyalty throughout the whole year. You can come in and, hey, I want to buy a bottle, and we limit it. So I set the odds beforehand.
Okay.
So last year we had, I think, 100 bottles. We did 300 tickets.
Okay.
So you have a 1/3 chance of winning if you
nice.
buy one bottle. If you buy more than one, then your chances go up.
Cool. And I see you have a bundle here, so you have to buy it as a bundle. Do you do this a lot then, or?
Every once in a while, if I get stuck on a bottle, on something and we're trying to get rid of them.
Let me guess, it's the Breckenridge Portcast?
That and the RD1.
See,
Both
this
of them.
one's really good though. I really enjoy that.
It's a good one, but Amburana is on its slow death.
Well, I mean, everybody came out with an Amburana
Yeah.
all at once, and
Yeah.
now it's like kind of overdone.
You know, we went through 6 or 7 Amburanas, and at this point, it's no longer that wow factor to it. So
I hear you.
It's time to move on to something else. But typically, the bottles that are in our bundles will be lottery bottles people didn't pick up.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's like you had the opportunity to pick it up, never picked it up.
Yeah.
Now you can pick it, can buy it in a bundle at a discount too.
And you only do the lottery once a year?
Once a year, yeah. With our Buffalo Trace relationship non-existent,
Yeah.
I can only do it once a year.
Yeah.
Beforehand, I would have a random Sunday I'm working like, okay,
Yeah.
hey, first 40 people, get 40 tickets out, and we'll draw tickets, and whoever wants to come up and choose something, by all means. But it's been several years since that's happened.
I hear you. What is the most popular bottle that you guys sell, seemingly?
Makers,
Makers?
surprisingly.
Just the regular makers?
Regular makers, Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
You know, if I can keep it in stock,
Yeah.
like.
But you don't have a relationship.
Well, so the thing is, they'll give me liters every once in a while
Yeah.
and drop a pallet at a time. So we go through about 40 cases of Buffalo Trace in about a month and a half.
Oh, wow.
So if I have it, we can go
Yeah.
through it, but buying that doesn't count towards my allocation, so it really doesn't mean anything to me.
I hear you.
It's the opportunity to have it, but we go through a lot of makers. Russell's 10-year, huge fan.
Well, you guys got a great price on it,
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
the
that's
best
why.
price I've seen in a hot minute.
So that's a special relationship. We have a Campari group. We
Yeah.
try to do Russell's.
I mean, you get a lot of the Russells 13 and 15 then? Or?
We did get quite a bit last year.
I mean,
I'll tell you.
any that are not called for?
Maybe we might be able to work something
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I'll see if somebody didn't pick one up. I think
right.
there was somebody.
If not, I mean, let me know.
Yeah.
We don't have to show it on camera.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, beautiful store. Beautiful store.
Thank you. We're a wine store first.
Okay.
The liquor part is second to us.
Okay.
Wine is always going to be more important. And unfortunately, with trends and everything, whiskey and spirits has overtaken wine.
Are you noticing tequila's going up then? Or?
Tequila went up and it's coming right back down.
Really,
'cause,
just like the bourbon?
price increases.
Tariffs, I think?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. They'll come.
Yeah.
If they're in effect, they'll come.
Yeah.
But tequila, it's super easy. People are after, again, it's the same Van Winkle thing. People are after Fortaleza,
Yeah.
right? That's the one they want.
Yeah.
And we do get Fortaleza in. And again, that one we did do a lottery for just because I was like,
Well, it's the fairest way to do it, right?
yeah, we had 12 bottles. There's no fair way to divvy out 12 bottles.
Cool. Makers. Oh, this is an Indiana aisle. I missed this completely. So Redemption, I'd be guessing that's MGP. Gumball Head or Bubble Gum Head. That is $49.99. Straight malt whiskey. Bone Snapper. I think this is same people from Backbone, right? Yep, Backbone, based out of Indianapolis, distilled at Lawrenceburg, so MGP. St. Elmo, of course, that is a big restaurant here. Almost Old Bones, 9 years old, $109.99. Circle City, keep seeing them around. They seem to be huge. Bottle and Bond, $59.99. Toasted Series. Hard Truth, the High Road Rye. Okay, I was wrong earlier. I said 92 proof. It's 93 proof. $4 off, $39.99. If you're looking to get into rye and you don't necessarily love it, this is a really good starter. 93 proof. It's just over 3 years old. It's got more of a bourbon flair to it. Very good. Oh, Brent was here, so he signed this. I have not tried the four grain bourbon yet. And then we have Cardinal Spirits over here, the barrel proof single barrel bourbon. What's the difference? Oh, this is high rye. Looks like the Hoosier one's gone. $29.99. Cardinal Gold. Blended whiskey. This is 5-year rye, 51.95. 6-year bourbon. Rye was finished and slow proofed in Creek Bend brandy and blackstrap rum barrels. That's definitely interesting. Mayor Pingree. This is actually, well, here's why it's out of Indiana. Is because I believe it is distilled produced and bottled by Valentine in Michigan, but I do believe it comes, finest Lawrenceburg, Indiana traditional Kahn distilled bourbon casks. West Fork with Old Hammer, which keeps popping up everywhere. Oh, so that explains it. It's probably where Old West Fork is at. Traveler's Point, that's a new one. Lights Out, guess he's a local MMA guy, excuse me. Smooth Ambler, and yeah, that'll kind of wrap it up here. Really cool spot. If you're a fan of wine, if you're a fan of whiskey, we've got a great selection of both. Sampling some Whistle Pig 10-year barrel rye. I don't know if it's a thing here in Indianapolis that you just sample wherever you go, but so far we're 3 for 3 on places that are just handing out pours. So yeah, I mean, great prices. This is right where they should be. $79.99, $69.99. It's a little high, but not bad. But Penelope Wheated, $34.99. I believe the MSRP was supposed to be $40 on that. And if you can choke down some Breckenridge port cask finish, that's not a terrible bundle. It's a little high on the E.H. Taylor small batch, but the distiller just went up to $60. So not a huge Woodford fan. Come check these guys out, really cool. It's right down the street from where we were just at too. Mix and match, 6 bottles, wine or spirits, save 10%. All right. Well, walking away with an Eagle Rare store pick that he pulled out of the back for me. Wasn't expecting that, but total damage about like $53.99, which is what those normally run. So not a bad deal today here at Kahn's Fine Wine and Spirits Superstore. Come check them out. They're on the northeast side of Indianapolis. If you're a fan of wine, if you're a fan of whiskey, they've got a lot of it. So far, I think the damage on this trip, we're up to about $253. We got a couple more spots to go to, and we'll see what we can find. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the next spot. So we're here in Indianapolis, just on the northeast side of town. We just left Kahn's, and we had gotten an invitation from an NDP. If you don't know what that means, it's non-distilling producer. So we're gonna stop in. This is the building. They're not open yet. It is called Circle City Whiskey Company. You can see the barrels there. I think that's the owner right there. Hi, Victor. We're gonna stop in Circle City Whiskey Company. Let's see what they have to offer, what their story's all about before we head out to our next store.
I'm Drew with Circle City Whiskey. So we are an independent bottler. Let me fix this real quick. I'm sorry, that's gonna bother. So we're an independent bottler of American whiskeys. To me, that means something different than just being an NDP or a non-distilling producer. Really has to do with the quality control mechanism of selecting mature casks of whiskey, and also the transparency and level of detailed information that we provide. You see it literally on our barrel tags. We can make those a lot smaller, but we want it to be easy for people to identify.
NDP.
We currently have barrels from 7 different distillers, I believe, right now across the country. Some heritage distillers, and then a few small distilleries that we really want to help support, and that we're really happy with what they've grown into in the last few years as well. And then we do a mix of products. We have, obviously single barrel cask strength products. That's where we really cut our teeth. But we also do some blends. We have kind of a core lineup that includes our Bottled in Bond, which is now 6 years old, our which is distilled at MGP, and then our Double Oaked and Toasted, which I can't say the distillery on air anyway, but 78-10-12 mash bill out of Bardstown, Kentucky, and then we also have a local. Part of our core local product, we have a licensing relationship with Butler University.
Cool.
I'm a Butler grad, so I'm a little proud of that. And so we, single barrel cask strength, but also some blends. We do some finishing. Our finishing program's pretty limited. We just don't want to get too convoluted down that road, but we do have some really cool red wine finish, some Syrah barrels from Woodinville, Washington, from DeLille Cellars. So we partnered directly with them. But we're really proud of our toasting and double oaking program. The cooperage that we work with, I think, puts out some really fantastic barrels, and really creates a unique product, in my opinion. So,
Is this all the barrels you have?
We've
Right
got
here.
all of these. We also have some stashed back in our office. I'll show you, but it's just a mess back there.
all
But
good.
yeah, we used to work with co-packers as well. We had most of our stuff. It's been a process. We just operate off of a 4-bottle or 4-head bottler, and that's Victor over there. He's the workhorse around here. And we try to do as much in-house as possible. So in terms of labeling and like even our labels, you can see we.
I mean, they're beautiful labels.
I appreciate that. They come blank, and we
Yeah.
run them through a printer, a special printer that we have that allows us to. And that's really kind of a secret sauce for us as well, is that in doing that process, we have the labels on hand. We have a local provider, a printer that can print the actual barrel pick stickers. So we can literally turn a barrel pick around in a week if we need to.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's...
How many barrel picks do you guys normally do?
we're trending. We'll probably do about 50 or so this year. If trends from last year keep on, maybe more. But
Cool.
just I don't know. I stopped counting.
Yeah, I hear you.
Things keep going in the right direction, but we don't do as much as some, but we do more than others.
Still pretty cool.
You guys do a lot with the Humane Society, don't you?
We've done some fundraising with the Humane Society. We actually have really shifted a lot of our focus to a smaller rescue, just because the dollars seem to stretch a little further. Indiana Bulldog Rescue, being a bulldog myself. I haven't heard about the Crusaders Rescue yet, so we somehow, social media, they started popping up in my feed, and they don't turn anything down, and support a lot of animals, so
Cool.
we try to support them wherever we can.
Do you have a favorite product that you produce? You said the toasted. There's the double oak. You have the bottle of Bond.
The double oaked is pretty fantastic, but we do some 12-year ryes that are yeah.
Everybody's like, you gotta have the 12-year rye.
Yeah,
Jacob,
those have
Dan.
been killer. Those have really put us on the map in a lot of ways, at least locally, and so I do love those. But I honestly, like I said, that 78-10-12 mash bill, the double oaked we've done with that has been really well received, but personally I like it. It's just got this really deep, rich oak profile. Let's try here and whenever you got two hands available.
Yeah. How do you double oak it? Is it just a brand new charred oak barrel, or?
Yeah, generally, most of it's been new. We will reuse like a char 4 barrel if it's only been used for 3 or 4 months or 5-6 months. Obviously, there's a lot of life left in that barrel, and so we will reuse those. But then it takes that much longer for that next batch.
So you guys aren't technically open yet. Do you have a plan?
Yeah, so because of just state permitting laws, we're in a waiting period right now, waiting for what Indiana refers to as their artisan distiller permit. Once we've acquired the artisan permit and a bar and restaurant permit, we will open our tasting room, which we're targeting July 1. But we all know how well laid plans end up going, so I'm trying to temper my expectations.
Awesome. And how many people would be the capacity here?
So we'll have seating for probably about 28. Total capacity, I'm guessing, fire marshal probably sticks with about 45 to 50 would be my guess.
Cool. What are we drinking now?
So this is a 6-year-old 95.5 rye that we finished with toasted honey staves.
Toasted honey staves.
Correct.
So
So it's
95.
a toasted honey rye, but you'll notice it's definitely not overwhelming on the honey. It's much more controlled. So what we do is we break down a barrel, we cut the staves up so that they'll fit into a side bung barrel, and then we toast them all the way around so that the whiskey doesn't come in direct contact with raw wood. And then we soak it in local honey, let that dry, and then put those into the barrel.
That may be the best honey I've had. You can pull the local. You definitely get the honey out of it, but it's not overly sweet. You get the when someone gives you a honey and you taste like the lavender or like this strain of honey, that's how I taste this. I don't taste the sweetness that you would normally get from a honey where it's overly sweet. That's really damn good, man.
Thank you. That was part of what we were going after. The other thing, my struggle with so many honey releases is that they're so thick and viscous and mouth coating that unless you're going to eat a meal in between your next pour, it's really hard to drink anything else after it. And so we wanted something that wasn't so overly coating. It was really just the honey kissing the whiskey and complementing it as opposed to dominating it. And yet you could still have another pour after this and still appreciate.
Usually you have a honey and it doesn't swirl like that. It usually just sticks.
It's like milk.
Yeah.
It's
damn, man, that is well frickin' done.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Those two that you're talking.
Employment application every Tuesday. Old school sign. Open Monday, Saturday, 8 to 2, and then noon, 7:55. Old school looking place. A lot going on. Whiskey looks like it's over here. Must have 1,000 points or buy an older store pick. Has been on the floor for 2 months. If you have over 5,000 points, see Ray or Vince. I think they are the ones in charge. So these are all their picks. I've never seen a fiddler pick before. Employment application every Tuesday. Old school sign. Open Monday, Saturday, 8 to 2, and then noon, 7:55. Old school looking place. A lot going on. Whiskey looks like it's over here. Must have 1,000 points or buy an older store pick. Has been on the floor for 2 months. If you have over 5,000 points, see Ray or Vince. I think they are the ones in charge. So these are all their picks. I've never seen a fiddler pick before. 6 months, 6 years, 9 months, 2 months in the finish. Char 1 heavy. Rolling fork. Hotel Tango. It's on the cart today. Heaven Hill, grain of glass. Oh, they got Elijah Craig 18 here. Bottle 2023. Oh, if you're a Horsey fan, they got that today. One Eagle Rare. Fang Pursuit. Larceny Barrel Proof. And then the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, I would assume that's 125. What do we have here? Oh, we were just at Circle City. So new riff in the corner. $99.99. This is Rural and Raised Pick Barrel. Oh, that's a rye pick. Got more of a rum. The Woodford's Reserve 139. Wathen's Barrel Pick. $95.99. That looks like it's a Charles Medley. It is a bourbon, a 118. Bullet. Bone Snapper. Yellowstone. More Circle City. There's a lot of wax on that puppy. 75-21-4 from Indiana, MGP. It's a 5-year from Ohio. I'm going to guess that's Watershed. Sure is. What about this one? This is Midwest Grain Products, so MGP. Lawrenceburg. It's a hodgepodge of everything. Floor whiskey. And the Remus. It's a Remus 8-year. You got a decent amount of that. Knob Creek Single Barrel Select, 120 proof. That's $56.99. Rural and Jack Daniels pick, $57.99. A Remus pick. It's number 9. I don't see a price on that. The Cabinet, $59.99. Another Hugh Hammer or Hugh Hamer, $69 or $66.99. A ton of Starlight. There's like 50 freaking single barrels out here. More Circle City. This is $58.99. Bottle and Bond. 100 proof, 6 years, Indiana. Old Ezra, 66. Old Ezra, 66.99. That's a damn good price for the 7-year rye. I haven't seen anything under than 80. Penelope weeded. Kind of like no rhyme or reason here. Oh, we got a pinhook, 89.99. It's a 2024 release, 9-year-old single barrel. 167 bottles, barrel 124, MGP. Keeper's Heart, if you haven't had, oh, this is neat. Finished in maple syrup barrels. I have not seen that from Keeper's Heart yet. $59.99. Keeper's Heart is really good, underrated stuff there. That's the best damn good price I've ever seen on a sneakerhead. 2XO. This stuff's like normally 90 to 100 bucks. Or right next to it. Old Forester, $89.99 for a single barrel rye. And a K warehouse, floor number 1. Man, Angel's Envy. You got 8-year-old Nashville Bourbon Company. They've been making some noise. Oh, double oaked. Found a double. What's the price on a double? 200. So right at MSRP. I will say, everything about Indianapolis so far today, they have had everything right at MSRP, and they've had a selection that a lot of places don't usually have. Look at all of these Circle City barrel picks. You got, I'm assuming that means that this is Turkey. It certainly is. 104.2 proof, 8 years, 9 months. Oh, we haven't even made it to the shelves yet, which is a wall of whiskey. We've got some floor whiskey. We've got Baby Jane. We got Joseph Magnus, Early Times. Thomas More Pinhook. Buffalo Trace at $33.99 if that's your thing. But I will say, as someone who lives in northern Kentucky, we don't see Knob Creek 12 anywhere. Every place we've been today, $65 or less, which is incredible. Man, if you have not been to Indianapolis, or you are in Indianapolis, you need to come check out Rural Inn. Not only is their whiskey selection and their bourbon selection on the wall incredible, but their single barrel selection, probably the best I've ever seen. 50 different single barrels just right now. And they say there's a shot that they go about 100 a year. Rural Inn cold beer. Warehouse. What is this? All right, we had to charge the phone. The phone died because we've been hunting all day. More of the Benchmark, Old Granddad, the Pocket, Evan Williams. I haven't seen these. These are awesome. $9.39. Nulu, Rebel. Love the Hard Truth. Monk's Road over there in the corner. Man, what a great spot here. We are at Rural Inn on the east side of Indianapolis. Let's go see what else they've got, if we can try any samples. Heck of a collection up top of all the little books. I've been told that these bottles are not for sale. L. Young Four Roses. All the old turkeys. More Four Roses. Looks like the entire rose garden. Old Fitz. Damn, that's a hell of a collection. The Old Forester 150. Some old Fitzgerald. Bourbon Deluxe. Look at all the dust on that. That tells you how old this stuff is. It's really cool. Some would call it a museum, but if you came to the store, you would know it's not, because they have an amazing selection, and the pricing's pretty damn good as well. Kind of just like a whole, I'd say this is kind of history rather than the museum. There are some that are just museums, say this isn't for sale, or I've got it for thousands of dollars more than it's supposed to be. This is just cool. So if you want to join the club, text Bourbon to 317-834-7712. I've never seen a place that has more barrel picks. So we're with Ray. You're the owner and operator of the joint.
Yep.
Right? How long have you had this place?
40 years.
40 years, and you've been here in the same location?
Same location, 40 years.
How much different is bourbon now than it was 40 years ago?
40 years ago, I was the only one drinking it.
Do you have a go-to? Like, you have a favorite?
I mean, we all started the same way, I think, in bourbon back then. It was pretty simple. It was Jack and Coke, Jim Beam and Coke. Yeah. Slowly, the Coke went away. Then slowly, we probably started drinking better things over ice. And then ice went away.
Yeah.
And then we higher proof.
Yeah, that's kind of how I started as well. You have, I will say, more of a hodgepodge of everything that you could ever think of. It seems to be here in the store. How do you handle everything?
Well, I mean, we're known for our store picks. We're called, in Indy's Bourbon Honey Hole for a reason. Yeah. We've been doing store picks for over 25 years, so it's nothing new to us. The store picks, I haven't counted them lately. There has to be at least over 50 store picks in the store
Currently
right
now. If you could estimate, how many store picks have you ever done before?
Oh, ever? I mean, for the last several years, we've averaged over 100 store picks a year. So, I mean, and over the 25 years, it's got to be 500, 600, 700.
500, 600, 700. Oh, I would have expected close to 1,000.
Well, I mean, you got to remember back in the day.
It wasn't as.
And as an example, the first Blanton's pick we did was 2013.
Okay.
Took us 10 months to sell.
Now it would take you 10 hours, if not
it
less.
It would take
maybe
us
10 minutes.
as fast as we want to sell it.
Yep.
Yes, that's how bourbon has changed.
So, tell us about the store. Well, what is one thing that you're doing that other people aren't?
Well, we're definitely a bourbon drinker store. Mm-hmm. We take care of the guys that take care of us. Most everything is relationships anymore. Mm-hmm. If you haven't earned that relationship, you don't get on it. So, I mean, we do a lot of things based on that, whether it's allocated stuff on a cart where you've got to be part of the bourbon club. If you're not part of the bourbon club, we still give you a chance to buy it. But even then, we qualify at the Bourbon Club. You got to have 1,000 points, so it's $1 a point. But then you can buy straight off the cart.
Okay.
But again, if you're not, we want you to enjoy the store picks. I mean, most people, I think that after the smart guys, after 6 months to a year, and then some guys it takes 2 to 3 years. Store picks is where it's at.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, most people get that, and we got it a long time ago. Yeah. That's why we're into store picks as heavy as we are. And as you said, we pick a lot of store picks.
Yeah. There's more store picks than you have shelves.
Oh yeah, by far. I mean, this is where we've gone to. I mean, regular items on the shelf, store picks. Almost everything down here is a store pick. In and out items we put on the floor. We have a little case behind us here, just because we don't want to rearrange the shelves all the time with stuff in and out. Allocated, like I said, we handle that way. We have a bourbon club, which gives us the opportunity to track sales, so we can make sure we're giving it to the guy that actually spends money instead of the guys that come in and act like they do.
Yeah, I hear. So what's it take to be part of the club? You just walk in and just join?
Yeah, it's a $25 fee, good for 1 year.
Do you have to re-up every year then? Or?
Yep, every year. We at one time when we decided to go to a paid bourbon club, we had over 8,000 members in the bourbon club. But unfortunately, the only time some of them would show up, or most of them, is when we had allocated stuff out. And to be honest with you, I hate saying this, but we don't need guys only looking for allocated. Yeah. If you can't come in and support the store picks, I tell people all the time, you're better off going to Myers, Kroger, Costco, probably not your store.
Yeah. Totally understand, especially the way the industry and how, I'm sure the one bottle you get the most asked for is Blanton's, right?
I will tell you we're blessed that most of our customers don't ask for Blanton's.
At this point, they're probably conditioned.
At this point. The phone's not ringing either asking for Blanton's either, because, when we get that customer that does ask, our policy is we don't talk about allocated bourbons over the phone. Yeah. Otherwise, I get 200 phone calls a day and I can't get anything done. I'd rather spend time with my customers, not over the phone.
What is the bottle you're most proud of to have?
Oh, I
see the case.
Well, some of those ones in the older, there's bottles in there over 100 years old. So, unfortunately, nothing's in the cases for sale. More eye candy, more older store picks, more older bottles, and it gives you an idea of what we do get in.
Yeah.
So,
anything else that you want the viewer to know about Rural Inn or how you run the operation?
we're a bourbon drinker store, you know. And like I said, you can try it for you. These are all the bottles. Almost every bottle up here with a store pick is. So you can actually try it before you buy it. I would rather you open a bottle at my cost because these guys don't give me these bottles.
Yeah.
We crack them at our cost. I'd rather you sip it, make sure you like it before you take it home. No buyer's remorse here.
But you're telling me that all of these that are open right here are bottles that you currently have to sell as a store pick?
Yes.
You all see that? This is not a bar, this is a liquor store, and all of these are store picks that are currently available to buy.
And taste.
And taste.
We're not pounding shots here.
No.
You get a little bit to taste,
Yeah.
figure out if you like it or not. So.
Do you have a favorite of them? Is it
It's
like picking a kid?
No, it's like kids. I mean, I mean, there are definitely some I've enjoyed. There's just a lot of great picks here. A lot of great picks. I mean, we do bourbon, we do rums, we do tequilas. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we do.
And a lot of local too, right? Well, how important is local to you?
Well, I'm a small local guy. I'm going to support the other local guys. I mean, absolutely. We work together.
Yeah.
So trying to make things go.
I will say you're our last stop on the trip. You're our fourth liquor store. A lot of Indiana and Indianapolis-based companies everywhere, which seems like you guys have a very good community here regarding whiskey.
I think we do. I mean, the guys that us small guys, we got to stay together.
Yeah.
I mean, there's too many big guys out there.
Yeah.
You know, we fight out of our weight class, as I say.
Yeah, Circle City, Old Hammer, or is it Hamer?
They don't care what you call it, just as long as you buy it.
What you call it, as long as, I mean, I bought a bottle earlier and I thought it was Hammer, but I've heard someone call it Hamer, so I just wanted to double check.
Hammer.
And the Circle City, beautiful store. Thank you so much, Ray, for having us.
Oh,
and
you're welcome.
taking the
Thank
time.
you. No, thanks
Nice
for
to
stopping
meet you.
in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if our first Saturdays are getting so full anymore. I don't know if I need to promote that anymore. We've been doing first Saturdays, so we'll take, normally it's a tie-in to a store pick, and then we taste a lot of the other products in that line. So our first Saturday of every month, it's an opportunity to come in, try 5 to 6 different whiskeys, absolutely free. Come in, starts at noon. We hold right at 100 people, and it's been pretty well packed. No,
Is that free? Or
it is absolutely free. Yes.
Hell yeah. Sick. Well, Ray, thank you again so much. It was great to meet you, man.
Nice meeting you. Appreciate coming in.
You bet. There's a special bar in the back. Wow. It's like an old pool hall. So do you like rent this out, or do you?
Yeah, it's open off and on. We do special events, other stuff over here. So
Holy smokes.
the bar's been this way. We put the bar over here in '87. So
This is a legit bar.
Yeah, most of these guys.
So if you've ever been to Florida, we have that type of license. We're
Yeah.
a bar on one side, liquor store on the other. So it's set up for our first Saturday, so we can squeeze in 100 people in here, kind of. So
Yeah. Oh,
it's always been set up.
that makes sense on the first Saturday thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Consistency. That's what this is right here. Consistency.
Is there a chance that you're trying to squat in cold weather?
You're doing a
We
what?
tend to have bottles around here, laying around.
I've seen it every first Saturday, and I'm like, I'm gonna ask him one day when I get the
And
courage.
it got thrown down into something.
It's an old Dusty.
It's definitely a Dusty.
Hey, it's coming from Ray's hands. It's gold.
Well, I mean, it's just a regular old.
What's the year on that?
But you grab a WLW today, put it next to that, they're gonna taste different.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there's definitely a lot of difference between the stuff back from 14, 15, 16 versus now.
Yep.
You know, here, that's also one that's
Dan H&H with
This
this.
one's a butterscotch bomb. I think that one's from '93.
So this is the kind of stuff you would do on a first Saturday then?
No, this is more of the stuff that when I have very good customers, friends come in that.
So like
we'll
Michael?
do a bottle share. Yes.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease every once in a while.
Most of the time, you just got to ask.
Yeah.
So.
Miss 100% of the shots.
I mean, we're just a drinking establishment. We want bourbon guys that come in that are drinkers. Collectors are great, but
Well, what's the point of collecting if you're not going to open it?
you got to have that trophy on the shelf.
It's a trophy still if it's got a seal open. Well, we didn't walk away with anything extremely rare today, but I will say Rural Inn, that is the best pinhook I have ever had. Not usually a big pinhook fan. I've had a couple that I really liked and a couple that were okay. This 9-year single barrel, one of the best pinhooks I have ever had. So that's what I'm walking away with today. That was $90 or $89.99. So trip total, we're around $400 today. And not a bad day. Amazing day when it comes to experience here in Indianapolis. I'll tell you what, people here in Indy love themselves some Indiana whiskey, some Indiana distilleries. Rural Inn on the east side of town. Highly recommend if you're ever driving along I-65, take an extra couple minutes to stop at some of these liquor stores. Check out Circle City. What an amazing time today. Did not get that Jack Daniel's 10, 12, or 14 that we were looking for today. But hell, what an amazing day. Please, if you stuck around so far for the end of this video, smash that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. Maybe we'll be even giving away a couple of these bottles to some local Patreon members. So don't forget to join the Patreon or the YouTube membership program right there in the bottom. We got a couple of Patreon members here. We've got Chris, we've got Michael. All you have to do is click that link in the description below. Don't forget, it is always whiskey weather. You can check out more bourbon hunts right there on the top right of your screen. We'll see you in that next video. Just remember, please remember to drink responsibly, and it's always whiskey weather. Cheers, y'all.